For the stream.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome to the stream. Today we are joined here once again with the whole of the Golden Theater, and we're gonna be doing continuing Fata Morgana.
Yay?
It's a big stretch there.
I'm not even sure.
Aw, big stretch.
Big stretch.
Alright, let me do a gamer stretch.
So a few things. So a little bit of bookkeeping for this one, because there are some things that are a few different, mostly for the people who are involved. Because contrary to Fata Morgana's regular cast, this one is actually even more condensed. So certain people will be having some roles switched around. The basic premise of this has already been explained, so I think in terms of characters that are going to be different, Maria, who's traditionally voiced by Khan, will be voiced by Rindy instead, because Rindy does not have any normal roles otherwise. B will be getting a top secret character that is new to this, and you'll be seeing them later. I will be voicing Jacopo for the first half of this, and then Noir will take over for the latter half. And I actually have a stupid reason for why this is okay. Other than that, what is it? So I'm sure you've all noticed, for the longest time, the Catboy bar at the bottom of the screen during the loading screen bit. So, I have added an addendum to this. We will reach the Catboy milestone if we get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And we're at 99 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh,
So,
you're so desperate. Holy shit.
There it
fuck it,
goes.
why
We
not?
made it. We made a deal. It's fine.
Mhm,
I've been waiting for this
we've
for a
made
hot
it.
Oh,
year.
B's desperate.
And
I
to be perfectly honest, I,
like,
am
you know,
too, because like because of recent developments, I'm totally okay with doing an Otome game now.
Is it because of the
channel?
streaming of the game?
No, it's not.
No, it's because of the bisexuality. See, come on.
Keep up, bro.
Is
Come
that
on.
how you've been reading porn in this Discord this entire
No.
for the last week?
You silly goose. That's
It would
not
have
how
been
this is.
impossible.
What are you talking
otherwise.
about?
So,
Mhm.
who gets what role? My thing kind of
Oh,
muted everybody. and
basically,
logged me
Khan,
out.
you're just gonna be Morgana this time. Like, you're just only doing Morgana, and that's it.
Okay.
So at any rate,
Wait, didn't you say we were at 99?
On the YouTube,
we're
yes.
99
Okay,
on
it's-
YouTube. On
It still says 89
That's not true. That's
on
not
the
true.
on the
Did
bar.
you just fucking subscribe?
Maybe.
God damn it, Rindy! Rindy!
Fate, or at least those guys' fate. Congratulations.
We did.
Yes!
I guess
Does
we
this mean
did.
we get to do the Otome now?
I guess we did do it. Yes.
We
Fine.
get the
Yeah!
voice the BL.
When we're
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
going to do it, I don't fucking know.
We'll figure out a schedule for
We'll
it.
figure out a place
We'll
to
do
put it, I
something.
guess.
We will do it after a Tales of game.
Oh,
Where is the YouTube?
ouch.
The
On YouTube.
The YouTube.
No, I mean give them a name
well,
instead
for
of
one,
specific-
if you want to access the YouTube, it can be found in the Twitch affiliate links below, downstairs, all that fun business. Like if you just look at the description of the fucking description of the Twitch, I don't think anybody ever does, but it's fine. Or I believe so it is hold on a second. The official the official name. Wait, can you see my background when I fucking mouse over shit now?
No.
Just isn't.
No,
Oh,
we
okay.
cannot.
There is orange VODs with the goddamn little citrus icon in the middle. The O being a 0, of course. But unfortunately, it shows what the original registered name for the thing is now. So you can
Let's go
see.
Demon Sonic TH.
If only there was
see-
some way to change it.
You can also find it by
Demon
using
Sonic.
@DemonSonicTH.
Yeah, I was about to say that your search, like, result optimization was crap. I kept trying to type in Orange Boy and I couldn't find it.
Your middle
Yo,
school did.
yo, can I get that that stream volume raised just a smidge?
Just
'Cause I
a
love this
smidgen?
track so much.
Fair enough, sure.
What is this track?
Shelly,
called?
did you use a
Don't worry
0
about it.
for the O?
I did. I couldn't find it.
Of course
I
you
typed in
did.
The
Orange
official
Boy
Fata
from
Morgana
Metro, and I
soundtrack?
found
Yes,
nothing.
right there. Eek.
Perfect.
In
Okay.
fact, I found
Yes.
Umineko shipwrecks,
Alrighty
but I
then.
did not find Orange Boy.
But without further ado. Okay, no, this is a little too loud actually.
Oh damn it.
Oh my
I'm
god.
sorry,
So
this shit is not mixed well.
orange.
Mhm.
Sorry, Justin. I looked up Orange Boy on YouTube with the 0. So 2 things. 1, there's another Orange Boy.
Oh boy.
2, I found Joshy's Danganronpa videos.
Well, yeah, because whenever for Joshy's like added ones, like the ones where he edits, I make sure to include a link to his YouTube in there and also his Twitch, I believe.
But that's in
So
like
you just
the
have to
YouTube
look
search.
at twitch.tv/digitaljoshi.
Digital Joshua is an affiliate of the Orange Boy channel. This is true.
I don't know
Part
how
of the
this
Orange Boy Network.
Alrighty then. Oh wait, we get a Cento Dele and Happily Ever After by default. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean but like we go in order. We go in order in this house.
We're gonna go in order. As much as I want to do Happily Ever After, we'll do Requiem
I
for
know.
Innocence.
Yeah, okay.
It's so cute.
It's so cute.
Anyways, it's time for the Requiem. Death hangs in the air, spreading as far as the eye can see. I'm not gonna read this fast. Like it's probably gonna go away. There you go.
Just let it have it.
Just let it go. Yeah. Oh.
She's cute.
Oh yeah, it's gonna show everybody. Fuck.
What the hell?
So what do you think that's voiced by?
That is right now. That is right now.
I wonder who.
Oh,
And
Oh really?
Oki.
Them too?
Ooh.
Okay.
Whoa.
Ooh,
It's almost
I
like they're
that.
showing us everyone.
Did you not play this?
No, this is a different version of the game that I played.
Ah.
my thing froze, so I didn't get to see everybody.
Well, then you have a surprise in hand later for when they do show up.
Hey, there you go. Take a carrot and make it.
You didn't get spoiled. Hooray!
Hello, Clint.
Yeah.
SDB.
I don't know.
Well, you didn't get spoiled until one of y'all inevitably blurted out.
AC,
All
get
right.
to work.
Cheers! A saint's blood and good fortune to all.
Oh good, they put bandages on her.
Dear God.
Con.
Voices. So many voices. Laughing. 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 Was this 10th, such 20th. I have no longer had any idea. The Lord's guests merrily drank of my blood. My father had not blessed his miracle, so wealthy nobles can fill their goblets with it. My blood was for the poor, for the infirm and the destitute. Am I here? Why am I not doing my work? Each my body. With each passing moment, my body grew colder and colder. Can you hear me just fine right now?
That's
Like that, yeah. Mhm.
Well, it's like when you're talking normally, it's fine. It's just that when you're getting that quiet, you kinda... Yeah, you need to be a little bit closer to the mic, I think.
You're whispering
Okay.
under the voice filter.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Why are you apologizing?
Yeah, you're good.
Just go.
While a mad, fiery fervor spread among the partygoers. Oh, it hurts. My soul hurt far more than my body. Felt like a crack in a dozen places, about to shatter. Again and again. Myself. If it was just a trial, God was simply testing me. But I didn't think I could bear it much longer. Horrible miasma spilled from the wounds of flesh, filling the room. It was probably an illusion, something only I could see. The miasma soon began consuming my spirit. All my life I spent telling myself to be pure, just, righteous, and all of that. All of that, ripping me asunder. Father, oh Lord, of thy mercy. All mine enemies, destroy them that attack my soul.
A bit louder, God.
Hold on.
Actually, are you sure that you're using the right microphone?
Why do you ask?
Sounds fine to me. I think it's just
The
that
audio
she's...
quality sounds like a little bit, tortoise
Sounds like you're
a
on
little
your
bit.
I
phone.
didn't want to say, but it does sound a little worse.
Can you check
sound
your
like you're
input?
on your
Can you
phone.
check your input device on your voice settings?
Sounds the same to me.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we could always hear you.
We
It's just
can,
that you
but
were
it
whispering
sound
under
like
the
you're on-
voice sensitivity.
You sound like you're on your phone, Con.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't.
Do I?
No.
No, you're
Yes.
What? Robert, have you heard her on
Wait.
her phone?
Well, maybe not that
What?
bad, but I mean, it's a bit.
It is
You
a
should check your input all the
downgrade, but
same.
it's not phone quality.
Con, you might just be like, are you farther
Okay,
from the mic?
does my sound any better? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, you sound much better. Yes.
There you go, you fixed it. Good for you.
Sorry.
You're fine.
You're
Go
fine.
ahead. Go ahead.
You're fine. Do it.
And all them that affect my soul. For I am certain. Please, O Father, unto these sinners thy judgment. Cast them down to the depths of hell. For the sin it is the faithful servant. Am I still cutting
Okay,
out?
Con,
Yeah.
I'm gonna recommend something. Okay.
What?
You know where the settings button is, right? User settings. It's a little gear. You know that?
Yeah, I know where it is.
Okay, go to user settings. Go to
My
voice.
my PC's just running super slow right now, and my Discord's already frozen over for the 5th time.
Yeah, I
'Cause
can figure that.
I-
Because if it cuts out, that means that you're overloading the processor.
She's not
do
cutting
you
out
have-
whenever she talks loud. It's just whenever she's whispering.
Do you have anything running in the background you can kill?
I think it's
No,
just the
this
voice
is
sensitivity.
This is the only thing.
Con, go to voice and video and look for a thing that says input mode, voice activity. Do you see that?
I can't do anything. My screen is frozen.
Oh shit.
Why did you think I meant?
What? I didn't know about that part. I didn't hear that part. Alright. Technical difficulties, everybody.
Yeah, if the screen's frozen, that usually means that, as I said, the processor's overloaded, which means that it's literally not getting some of the stuff you say. That's what that is.
I think it's just the voice sensitivity. I think it's just like she's whispering under the voice sensitivity.
I mean, maybe, but no, I can hear her.
I mean, it could very well be a little column A, a little column B.
It's like whenever she's talking at her normal voice volume, I'm hearing it perfectly fine. I'm not hearing any cutting out.
And now?
You sounded fine anytime you talked at a normal volume. I think it's just the
Just
voice
do
sensitivity.
less like whisper talking. Like, I mean,
Or
I know
you-
that's the role, but that might help you.
What am I doing wrong?
You're just whispering too low. Like the thing's probably not catching you.
Con, just move closer to your mic. That's all you have to do.
I'm close to my mic as I can.
Alright, just is your thing still frozen?
No, it's functional now.
Alright, go to the voice and video thing and look for the yellow and green line.
I know where it is.
Alright, cool. Just try lowering that a bit. Not by too much, or else it's gonna pick up every noise, but just a bit. It might not be the problem, but that's what I think it is. And then we'll just keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if my technical support isn't up to par.
No, it's fine.
I'll
It's fine.
figure it
Don't
out.
worry about it.
Because I just know I used to have a laptop that was falling apart that would literally just like not.
Oh, jeez.
I'm okay. It's just
We
me.
heard that.
Bless you.
Here, let's. How about you try it now, Con?
Mm-hmm. Disguised as a prayer, I cursed them. For the first time in my life, I wished someone ill. I did what a saint, what the daughter of God, must never do. And in that moment, I committed a sin greater than anyone else in that room.
The girl! Look at her face!
I began to hear panicked voices rising up around the hall. However, I was completely oblivious to the cause of the unrest. In fact, I assumed that perhaps God had heard my wish and struck down some of the partygoers. The Lord marched over to where I sat in chains, grabbed me by the hair, and yanking my head up. In his other hand, he held a sword. A disgusted grimace was carved onto his face, as though he was looking down at the filthiest thing in the world.
You're a damned witch wearing a sheep's skin!
This is worse than I expected. The stench of rotting flesh hung in the air. Corpses were strewn about the room in varying states of decay. Blood pooled on the floor, black and thick as mud. An eyeball hung loose from one body, half decomposed in about as much liquid as it was solid. On many, white bone was visible through patches of flesh that had rotted away entirely. Some had been worked to death. Others died of any number of diseases. And they were the lucky ones. Several bodies bore stab wounds from head to toe. Others looked like someone had tried to rip them in two. Some had been burned under their entire bodies, shriveled, and some were covered in blisters. There was no shortage of people who had obviously been tortured. But the man on the other end of the torture, the Lord Barnier, thought of it as more of a leisure activity. The Lord was spoken of in whispers as the second coming of the great tyrant of old, though it wasn't until I snuck into his manor and saw for myself that I truly understood how accurate that was. He was a damned psychopath. I apologize that I couldn't make it in time to save you all too. I'm hardly a religious man, but for you I think I can spare a prayer. Rest in peace. I'm not myself today. Though I suppose that shouldn't be a surprise considering what today is. I wonder if that girl from the other day is among the dead. No, I need to stay focused. If this goes south, I'll be the one joining this pile of bodies. God, I'm starting to get a little nervous. Don't go weak in the knees now, Jacopo. How can you ever expect to go out into the world if you can't even keep yourself together for something as straightforward as this? I can do this. No problem. Let's start ourselves a revolt. It all began a little over 2 weeks earlier. The local lord's iron-fisted rule was destroying the commoners. This went doubly for those living in poverty, who were barely scraping by before taxes. Could only take 3 steps out into the slums without hearing someone curse the Lord. I have no idea who first proposed the plan. Everything came together so smoothly, so quickly, it's almost a blur. It started as the everyday litany of complaints hurled back and forth between the usual crew of young, indignant men in the pub soon escalated, ballooning into a full-fledged plot to strike back. He treats us like dog shit. We're the ones working his goddamn land. Let's give the bastard what's coming. Over the next few days, word of the plot spread through the slums, and a number of volunteers grew at an impressive pace. And the more people we had on board, the more realistic it all started to become. While the original plan amounted to charging in headlong with whatever weapon we could scrounge together, it quickly evolved into a more sensible scheme to infiltrate the Lord's manor and free his slaves. It was no secret that the Lord was purchasing far more slaves than he should have any reasonable use for. What we didn't know was what he did with the slaves. The banquets he so loved to throw were actually sick, sadistic torture parties. The best we could do was infer their living conditions were less than ideal from the fact that the Lord kept acquiring more. And while the plan to free the Lord's slaves was undeniably rooted in a righteous desire, I would be lying if I said everyone's intentions were so pure. We wanted to right an injustice, absolutely. But the prevailing desire was for vengeance, to give the Lord a little comeuppance. Part of it was also calculated. That it would be advantageous for it to look like a slave revolt rather than a civilian uprising. If we struck from the outside, we were liable to bring the Lord's wrath down upon more than just a handful of us involved. But if the blow came from the inside, he couldn't blame us. Secondly, the Lord's mansion sat atop a hill, which meant his soldiers had the advantage of terrain. It would be nigh impossible for a band of lowly, ill-equipped peasants to break through his defenses, and we certainly didn't have the money to hire mercenaries. No amount of righteous anger was getting us anywhere near that manor. On the other hand, quietly getting one person inside to stir the pot was far more feasible. So, ultimately, freeing the slaves was a means to an end. It was our best chance to deal the Lord a real blow. Of course, that doesn't mean we wouldn't save as many people as we could, nor did it mean it would be easy to pull off, or that any of us would make it out alive. The plan went as follows. We would find a slave trader willing to sell one of us to the Lord. Once they had infiltrated, they would spread word of the scheme to the other slaves, trying to get as many of them on board as possible. Finding a slave trader willing to cooperate was surprisingly easy. They're businessmen, and slaves are their product. While the majority didn't give a damn what happened to the slaves after they received payment, there were more than a few who were displeased knowing their precious wares were being squandered. Slaves are supposed to be long-term workers. They're not meant to be expendable. They require food and rest and some semblance of reasonable living conditions. It is far from a glamorous life, obviously, but most sensible slaves owners at least had a vested interest in keeping their workers alive. However, that was far from the case with Lord Barnier. Slaves were, of course, the property of whoever purchased them, and a mere slave trader had no place complaining about how they were being treated. That didn't mean the traders had to like it, though. And there was a small collective of them who staunchly refused to do business with the Lord, quietly mocking any who did. Nobody openly spoke ill of the Lord, let alone opposed him directly. Not only because the land was under his control, but because he was a madman, and everyone knew it. So they would help us get in, and nothing more. That was fine. That was all we needed from them to put our plan into action. And the vanguard of our operation, the one who would infiltrate the Lord's manor, was me. I volunteered for the position, partially in the heat of the moment, but also because I was confident I could pull it off. Above all, though, I didn't want to believe that I couldn't manage such a straightforward task. I had to step up and take initiative, or I would never escape this life as a poor, lowly slum dweller. Crawling through the dirt, everyone, noble and peasants alike, looking down on me, thinking I'm worthless. Doubting me for my whole pathetic life. Like hell I was going to let that happen. I wanted to claw my way up as high as I could manage. I didn't want to surrender, to accept that I was powerless. I wanted to make something of my one and only life. It was the beginning of the Lord's next banquet for my infiltration, and that was when I saw the horror for myself. The abuse and torture he put the slaves through. It was a goddamn blood banquet. Any mistake, no matter how small, would invite harsh discipline. If Barnier was ever in a particularly foul mood that day, he would physically beat the wrongdoer. He had a particular fondness for activities that drew blood, though. And he would regularly gather them together nobles with similar predilections as his manor. Once a banquet had begun, it generally continued for around 2 weeks. The first thing I did after infiltrating was spread word of the plan to the other slaves. To be honest, I assumed it would be easy getting them to cooperate. They should have reviled Barnier more than anyone, after all. But I couldn't have been more wrong. Every ounce of willpower had been drained from them. They were malnourished, unrested, and violently oppressed. I could hardly have convinced them to swat a mosquito. He had them completely under his thumb. Everyone was utterly terrified to fight back against Barnier. They would just as soon take their own lives. Hardly a day in, and the plan already seemed to have hit a wall. A full week I spent trying and failing to convince a single soul to assist in the revolt. Just as I was beginning to fear it might not work after all.
We need to talk. Come with me.
He was a tall, muscular slave who spent most of his time doing physical labor. Despite the poor conditions, he seemed to be keeping himself in rather good shape. Neither the slaves' eyes weren't filled with fear or resignation. But it wasn't hope I saw in them either. Rather, they looked like the eyes of a bloodthirsty wolf, and his unkempt, greasy blonde hair only served to amplify the primal impressions he gave off. Between that and the faint, cocky smirk visible on his lips, he more resembled the head of a gang of ruffians than a slave. I wasn't sure it was entirely wise to accompany him anywhere. But against my better judgment, and with far too little information, I followed the man to the great hall. There were a dozen or so nobles and upper-class men and women clustered about the hall. The air was filled with the scent of aromatic herbs, and it wasn't long before I realized they were meant to mask the smell of blood. A long table was lined with plates stacked with piles of glistening dark red meat. Noblemen sneered at us with wet lips as we entered the room. The contrast between the nobles' practiced, graceful mannerisms and the grotesque feasts of which they were partaking was so bizarre, I simply stood there aghast. There was no room for anger to form. The lord stood on a platform like a small stage at the end of the room.
Are you the slave who offered to be the day's entertainment?
The buff man nodded, dropping down on one knee. What does he mean by entertainment?
Surely you've tired of merely inflicting pain on helpless slaves. Would you, by chance, be interested in something a little more exciting?
Random nobleman.
Could you be any more disrespectful? Lord Barnier, you would do best to rid yourself of barbarians such as him.
There, give the poor man a break. You can't expect an uneducated slave to be properly versed in the ways of polite society. Now elaborate, slave.
Me and him, we duel right here, right now.
Do you seriously think we haven't already had pit slaves against each other numerous times by now? Wait, go ahead.
Hi!
Hello!
Oh.
If that's all.
Tell me, were they as vigorous as the two of us? Young and chomping at the bit?
Well, wait, that's you.
If all you want to see a couple half-dead slaves limply flailing at each other, then help yourselves. But you're not gonna find any here what can give you a fight with some real oomph, you know? Hell, half the slaves here probably keel over with just a little shove. So I figured you might be up for a little change of pace. A barbarian like me.
Whoa, I never agreed to this.
Suck it up, you're a slave. Since when have you had the right to agree to anything?
You make a compelling argument. Gratian?
Gratian.
Was it? Gratian, was it?
The Lord knows my name. I'm honored.
I only remembered you because you came very highly recommended.
The slave trader said... Oh, sorry.
The slave trader said you were descended from a line of warriors that made a name for themselves fighting in the ancient Colosseum. I had assumed he was exaggerating. But perhaps there was some truth to it after all.
Who can say? Couldn't tell you about my ancestors. But what I can tell you is that I just love a good duel.
Fought in the Colosseum? Descended from gladiators? I'm supposed to go on a one-on-one with him. Man.
Very well. Gods, bring these two swords.
Sir!
Shit. What is he hoping to accomplish? To win Barnier's favor? Because I have to hope I can catch him by surprise as soon as...
Hey kid, listen up.
What?
Eyes forward. And keep it down. Listen carefully. Don't get any wise ideas, got it? Just go along with it. Everything on the level.
What are you scheming?
You'll find out soon enough. Assuming you can handle a sword anyhow.
Two guards approached us, each carrying a long sword. It was heavier than I expected, and I felt awkward in my hands. Both of our blades were badly chipped, clearly old and battle-worn. Of course they wouldn't give us new quality weapons to a pair of slaves, but a sword was still a sword. Beaten though they may have been, I still have to be careful or I'd be dead before I even got the chance to get the slave revolt off the ground. That said, I had survived this long in the slums. I wasn't completely helpless, and I had experience with the dagger. Though I wasn't sure how much help that would be now. The longer two-handed weapon still felt awkward in my hands. As I squinted at the blade's hilt and adjusted my grip, trying to familiarize myself with the feel of it, Barnier took a seat readying himself to spectate. That's when I caught sight of what lay hidden at the back of the stage. What? I stood there staring agape, completely forgetting I was but a moments from a duel with a man twice my size. The back of the stage was what looked like an altar, draped in a thick white sheet and stained red. Atop it sat a young girl covered in gashes. Her head was drooped, so I couldn't see her face. Judging from her size, I didn't think she could be any more than 10 years of age. Some wounds were older and had already scabbed over. Some were swollen, and bright red protrusions on her pale skin. Some were oozing pus, and others were so fresh they were still bleeding. It was difficult to find a part of her body that wasn't cut. Hey, what do you think you're doing to that girl? I don't care who you are. No one deserves that. Even as I shouted at the Lord, the girl remained motionless. She seemed unconscious. Not yet, but it wouldn't be long.
Silence, cur! I don't recall giving you permission to speak. Or if you'd rather lose your head right now, continue on as you are.
Damn despot.
Now, go on. Get started. Give us a show befitting of this grand affair.
Fighting my urge to snap back at him, I turned to face the slave named Gratian. The other guests lined the walls, whispering among themselves, speculating about the potential victor. The crowd was so overwhelmingly in Gratian's favor, it's absolutely no surprise they didn't even bother taking bets.
Try not to go down in one blow, kid!
Hold on! What's the point of this? Slowly, Gratian lowered into a crouch, and the next second he leapt at me like a tiger. There was an audible whoosh. Before I even had time to grasp, he was mere inches away. What choice do I have? I swung my sword up, catching Gratian's blade mid-descent and attempted a parry, but there was far more weight in his strike than I had expected. The impact caused my hands to sting painfully and my knees to buckle. I clenched my teeth, trying, at the very least, to hold my ground. Gratian barely gave me time to recover, let alone strike back, before launching into a second attack. He handled the longsword so effortlessly, swinging it through the air in such impressive, perfect arcs that I could hardly believe we were both using the same weapon. Ha! Twisted out of the way, but not quite in time. The tip of his blade skimmed the skin of my neck. And then, not even giving me a chance to catch my balance, he thrust his blade at me. While I managed to deflect the attack just in time, I wasn't able to follow through. Meanwhile, a wide, mocking smirk spread across Gratian's face. He seemed to be having the time of his life.
Come on, kid! You're gonna have to do better than that if you want to keep your head!
Ugh! I rattled off several insults in my head. But unlike him, I couldn't spare the energy to put them into words.
Pick it up, boy!
Ugh! God damn!
That all you got, kid? I thought you'd fare a little better!
Shut your damned mouth! I was stuck on the defensive, and with every strike, he pushed me farther and farther back. I was almost up against the wall. I thought he said this was part of some plan. Was he just trying to get me to let my guard down? He's conspiring with the Lord. He must be. Why challenge me to a duel, though? Someone spill word of the plan to him.
Come on! Give me your best shot, boy!
Yes, very funny. You know damn well I'm barely managing as it is.
You gotta at least try! Don't want to put our audience to sleep now, do we?
Even the bones of my forearms are starting to sting. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up.
Here, let me show you how it's done!
God, I can't get a damn inch on him. Much more of this and I'll be up against the wall. I'm dead if I don't go on the offensive. That's my last chance. I've still got breathing room. Hey, big guy! You might think you have the advantage, but not for long.
Ha! That's rich coming from a guy who can't even get one swing in on me!
It's all trick to get your guard down. I've been saving this one just for you, meathead. Good luck dodging it. With that hulking body of yours.
Now that's more like it! Let me have it, kid!
I hopped backward a couple paces until my heel was pressed up against the wall. There's no backing down. Not anymore. Breathing heavily, I lifted my blade, pointing it at Gratian. He pointed his in turn, a cocky grin plastered on his face. And then, I kicked off the ground, hard, sending me flying towards him. My sword held down near my waist, his above his head. And then, whoosh! He whiffed, his blade ripping through the air just over my head. The mere force of the gale created by his swing was so intense. For a brief moment, I thought he might have knocked my head clean off my shoulders. But I was still breathing. And despite the exhaustion, my mind was incredibly clear and focused. I hadn't swung up at him, but slid across the floor. Your back's wide open! I rose to my feet, spinning around, and swung my sword at his neck with everything I had. Nyah! But my would-be grand comeback was deflected from behind without a bat of an eye. And hardly a wimpy deflect, for that matter. My hands felt like they were on fire.
Little bit on the dirty side, but hey, not half bad, kid!
Damn it!
Just a little more oomph to that swing and you might have landed it. Too bad.
I don't stand a chance against him head-on, but he's not one to fall for the same trick twice. Need a new plan.
Back against the wall with ya!
Son of a... Grr.
What's the matter, kid? That all you got? After all that talk, I was expecting a little more from ya.
Grr. He's got me completely under his thumb. I'm dead if I don't do something, but I can barely lift my arms anymore. It's getting harder to breathe. My vision's going blurry. I can't die yet. Not here. Not now. And not to this damn brute! There has to be something. An opening I'm not seeing. Anything! Some way to turn the tables. Am I imagining it? Or did I react to that quicker than usual? Is he doing what I think he's doing? Patterns were forming in my mind. I'd been through this routine so many times that my body instinctively knew what came next. I parried a strike entirely by reflex. I wasn't so full of myself to think it was a sign I was gaining the upper hand. As much as I loathed to admit it, he had every imaginable advantage over me. I should have realized what he was doing sooner, but I'd been so focused on keeping my head attached to my sword in my hands, I didn't have a spare mental capacity to see beyond that. He was in complete control. The only reason I was able to keep up with him was because he was letting me. Because he was repeating the same sequence of attacks again and again. If I'm right, then next, he'll come from above!
Oh!
Right on the money! A clang like the pealing of a bell echoed through the hall as our blades collided. It was much cleaner, much more satisfying sound than they had made when I was struggling to keep up. I still don't know what he's scheming. I'm not going to throw away this chance to win back some ground. Sparks flew with each clash of our swords, and Gratian's smirk grew wider. I could hear murmuring bubble up in the gallery as the tides turned. Cheering, cursing, confused gasps, but before long the sound seemed to grow distant. It was just me and Gratian in a bubble of silence. Not even the sound of metal striking metal, my heavy breathing, the stomps of our feet, the distractingly loud pounding in of my chest, the blood pumping through my veins, had all whisked away into nothingness. Every one of my senses were focused on exactly two things: the image of our swords cutting clear arcs through the air, and Gratian's intent.
That's it! Next! Overhead!
He whispered so quietly that by all rights I could have never heard it, but his intentions came through loud and clear. As if being controlled by that voice, I swung my sword down. After about a half-dozen such clashes, we locked blades and had a brief shoving match before putting a little distance between each other. And then we went at it again. To the audience, it would have looked like a fierce battle to the death, but it felt more like we were dancing than anything. Well, he was dancing. I was merely following his lead. But if that was his plan, whatever his plan was, I had no choice but to dance to his beat. The only thing improvisation would get me is a sword through the heart. Meanwhile, sticking to the plan, I had nothing to worry about. No reason to fear his sword might go off course. After several more fierce clashes, we got in close again. We were both breathing pretty heavily by that point. I was drenched in sweat, and it felt like I'd collapse right then and there if I loosened up for even a second. Gratian tossed a glance off to the side for the briefest of moments. His lips came together, curling into a smile.
Listen up. 3 paces back, then charge. Swing down as hard as you can. Put everything you've got into it.
As soon as I signaled my acknowledgement, Gratian parried my sword off to the side. 1, 2, 3 paces back. Then I gathered my strength into my legs. I crouched, like he had in the beginning of the duel, envisioning myself as a tiger ready to pounce. And then we leapt at each other in perfect sync. What? The harsh sound of metal striking metal, more piercing than anything else up to that point. For a heartbeat, the world went white. Then the whoosh of something ripping through the air.
Huh?
It wasn't for another second or two that I realized what had happened. Breathing heavily, I looked down at the sword in my hands, only to find half of it missing. Gratian's blade appeared to have snapped as well. The gallery began buzzing. The gallery.
Are you alright?
How dreadfully dangerous.
A perverse grin spread across Gratian's lips. I finally understood what he'd been scheming. He wanted the swords to break. He wanted it to look like an accident, hoping that when the shattered blades were flying, a noble or two would be caught in the crossfire. That explained the whole song and dance, why he had us hitting each other's blades at the exact same spot again and again. But how the hell would you ever expect that to work? That said, if the fight had gone on much longer, I don't think I would have lasted. His plan seems to have gone about as well as you could reasonably expect. One piece landed near Barnier and the other embedded in a table. That's fine by me, causing any more of a scene behind me before the actual revolt. Not that I would be opposed to seeing any of these madmen skewered. Gratian wiped the sweat from his brow with the back of his hand and surveyed the room. As obviously outclassed as he was by all the nobles, he still seemed much larger than anyone else in the room. He took a few moments to catch his breath, then sauntered over to the center of the great hall, taking another good look around the room before saying,
Apologies for the disturbance, my lord. While ordinarily a duel's supposed to end with someone dead, it looked like that's out of the question today. So mayhap we can reschedule. Put on another show in a day or two if you'd like.
Barnier seemed less than pleased with the outcome, but considering how rattled his guests were, he couldn't press that matter either.
Very well. I believe you two deserve a reward for such a fine show.
Oh, what kind of reward?
Oh, I'm sure you'd be quite pleased with the leftovers from today's feast. Gourmet cuisine, the likes of which you mere slaves can only dream of getting your dirty hands on.
You mean those bleeding scraps of mystery meat?
Ha 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 ha! Worry not, there's pork in there. Or does your religion prohibit you from eating a pig?
Nah, I gave up on religion long ago. I'm fine with eating meat. Most meat, anyway.
I'll have the other slaves bring it down this evening, then. Now the show's over. Be gone with you!
Gone we be, my lord.
I'm still concerned about that girl. There's nothing I can do for her right now. Hopefully she'll last long enough for the revolt, but with wounds like that...
Hey kid, pick your beat ass up and let's get out of here.
I am not beat, thank you very much.
Who are you trying to fool when you're wheezing up a lung? Getting huffy about it only makes you look more pathetic.
Piss off, you inhuman monster.
Now, do have a wonderful day, ladies and gents.
Once we were finally out of the hall and into the corridor, I took several deep breaths, finally letting loose some of the tension that had built up within me. As we made our way out through the corridors, the sound of the nobles laughing and chattering away amongst themselves faded into nothing. We headed for the rather barren waiting room where slaves without assignment were kept. In essence, it was an inhuman closet. I looked up at Gratian, who was standing beside me. I had about a dozen things I wanted to say to him, but I couldn't organize my thoughts into words. So I simply shrugged and pursed my lips. Yeah, that was a shame.
Huh? What was a shame?
You were hoping to kill at least one noble with when the swords broke, weren't you?
If only. I'm not that skilled, hell no.
You could have fooled me.
If anything, I'd say we're lucky it went as well as it did. It's a damn good thing they gave us their old crusty swords, but we'd never managed to break them at all.
If not to skewer one of the nobles, then why go to such lengths at all?
Well, because otherwise we'd have to fight to the death, of course.
No, that's not what I'm...
Of course, we both know who'd be standing here then.
Much as I hate to admit it, he has me beat in almost every category. For God's sake, how did he even get that good with a sword? Is it hereditary or something? What I'm trying to figure out is what your ultimate objective was in that whole facade. Why challenge me to a duel at all?
You're planning a revolt, aren't you, kid?
What does that have to do with anything?
Just answer the question.
Denying it will only delay the inevitable, so no point in that. And I'm fairly certain he's not on the Lord's side, at least. If he was just trying to win the Lord's favor, I can't imagine the duel would have ended the way it did. I can probably trust him. Yes, I am. And I need the other slaves' help to pull it off.
The little drones have been sucked of all their fight, and you can't get anyone on board.
Why even ask the question if you already know the answer?
Hey now, no need for the lip, kid. I brought it up because I'm trying to tell you I'm in.
You're in? Excuse me? What about anything you've done today would make me think you're in?
Bear with me for a second, put yourself in another slave's place. Some dick they never met before shows up out of the blue saying, I've organized to have you all set free, and I need your help to do it. You think they're gonna buy into it?
Fair enough. But it is true that I have people outside.
Don't matter. Could be lying through your teeth and it wouldn't change a damn thing. All that matters is whether they think you're worth getting behind.
I see your point. These slaves have been driven into the very depths of despair. They need someone charismatic enough to pull them out of that pit before they can be sparked to take any sort of action. Before infiltrating, I imagined it would be much simpler. It seemed that that was rather naive of me.
That was a whole lot of work to say the same thing I just said. Forget your fancy metaphor. Oh,
no,
that's me.
It's you, yeah.
Forget your fancy metaphors. It all boils down to this. Do they think you have a chance at pulling it off? Yes or no? These people, they don't got the energy to get all philosophical. They go with their gut. And the quickest way to their gut? Show them you're strong.
Now I'm starting to understand what the duel was for. The other slaves already know of your prowess, so if I were to fight on the same level as you...
Then they'd be willing to hear you out. Exactly.
Oh, whoopsies.
Oh there, kid. Why the sigh? You trying to blow this place down?
You could have easily accomplished that without putting on a damned show in front of the Lord and putting my life in danger.
It wasn't just for the other slaves, kid.
What do you mean?
I wanted to make sure you weren't some yellow-bellied pissant. That you're actually capable of doing what you promise. And now that I know you've got some semi-functional spine, I'm willing to help you out with the revolt.
Semi-functional, huh? Well, I'm glad I didn't disappoint you then. Given my performance back there, I couldn't blame you if you deemed me beyond hope.
Give yourself a little more credit, kid.
Whoopsies.
While I'm pretty sure the stories about my ancestors being gladiators are exaggerated, I did participate in a few death games myself back before I ended up here. You should consider it a badge of honor if you fought like a brute like me and lived to tell the tale.
I was under the impression that the church put an end to gladiatorial games.
Ah, right. It went underground. The rules may change, but not people. Always a market for blood sports. And yada yada, I got sold to the Lord, and here I am.
That probably explains what he meant when he said he had given up on religion.
So what's your story, kid? My money's on some rich aristocrat what got it in his head that he wanted to play hero and stop the big bad lord from being mean to his slaves.
What the hell gave you that idea?
You strike me as more of a prissy rich boy than a ruffian is all.
A prissy rich boy? I come from the slums, so no, I'm not just some upper-class punk playing hero.
Not a fact? Well, color me surprised. You sure don't talk or act like any of the slum boys I know.
That's probably because... Nothing.
And now I'm even more curious, damn it.
Honestly, it's not that interesting, I promise. Forget I said anything. It's because I want to be able to blend in when I eventually leave the slums. He doesn't even know that. I only just met him.
Whatever you say, then. In that case, how about we do some proper introductions, huh? Name's Gratian, which you should already know. Nice meeting you, kid.
Jacopo. I'm very glad to have your support, Gratian.
Don't mention it. I've been wanting to make the scumbags eat dirt myself, and this is the perfect chance. Oh, right. One more thing I want to ask.
What?
How old are you?
Excuse me? Is that relevant to anything?
Jeez, kid, someone really needs to teach you how to shut up and answer a simple question.
I'm 19.
Oh, thank God, I'm 20. Now I don't have to feel like an ass for calling you kid.
I'm only a year younger. That hardly makes me a kid.
A year's a long time, kid. Now that I've got that off my shoulders, I can put my all to helping with your revolt.
I'm starting to wonder if I even want this guy's help. Once I had Gratian on board, it was remarkable how quick the rest of the slaves were in to join. They knew him and they respected him, and that respect went a long way towards improving my own standing. As far as they were concerned, I had fought Gratian and managed to hold my own. And the big man was right. It wasn't a clever plan or a moving speech these people needed to put the light back in their eyes. It was a show of strength. Over the next few days, as Barney and his guest indulged themselves, word of the plan quietly spread beneath the surface. So to see signs of life for the first time since I had arrived. The majority of the slaves were emaciated and weak. There was a good possibility these guards would kill many of them. But still, I urged any who hesitated by saying, if you choose to stay, you're guaranteed to be killed eventually. It was true, to be sure, but in essence I was threatening them. Help or be left behind to die. And that was enough to convince them to grab onto the thread of hope I was offering, however frail it may be. We chose the 13th day of the banquet to commence the revolt. Waiting until almost the end of the party's usual 2-week duration gave us a slight tactical advantage. Naturally, Barnier's guests did not attend without their own protection. But after being made to watch almost 2 weeks of debauchery, the guards started getting exhausted. They would stop caring. And that was exactly what we needed.
Hey there, Jacopo. Everything's good to go on my end. We can give Lord Assel what's coming whenever you're ready.
Thank you. I appreciate all your help.
Whoa there, kid. Save the thanks for after we get out of here with our heads still attached.
Fair enough. Then how about this? If you both survive, I'll take you to the best pub in the slums.
As long as there are pretty ladies, count me in.
There's one I can introduce you to if you don't mind your girls headstrong with a little bit of bite.
Tough and pretty? Now that I can get behind. I spent so long surrounded by all these half-dead drones that I could sure stand for some good-natured abuse right about now.
Good nature might be a bit of a stretch. Rub her the wrong way and you'll find yourself short a pair of jewels.
I think I'll pass on that one then. I don't care how much of a looker she is. I ain't ready for her to be my last. How about this then? I'll tell you what I'm looking for, and you have someone picked out for me by the time this is all over. Flexible on the looks, but slender and short are a must. Meaty girls ain't really my type. Blonde hair and blue eyes are a plus, but it ain't a deal breaker. I don't like them to be a bit...
Slow down now. You've got your head way too far in the clouds if you think you're going to find your ideal wife at a brothel in the slums.
Hey now, do you expect me to give this my all without something to look forward to on the other side?
I suppose it is a decent motivator.
See? You get me!
Now onto the business. You ready to do this?
I've been ready, kid. Just waiting for the word.
That's about as good an answer as I could have hoped for. Before we begin, I want to go over the plan one last time. After you've secured weapons from the armory, you take command of the other slaves and go open the gates. While you're doing that, I'll signal to my people outside and cause a diversion. As long as you don't make too much noise, the Lord and the other nobles shouldn't realize anything is amiss until we're on top of them. As soon as the gates are open, you head for the Great Hall. We will rendezvous. We crash the party, and while the Lord and his friends are distracted, my people will lead the slaves to safety.
and then we swipe up all the shiny things we can carry and get our asses the high hell out of here.
Right. Can't forget the valuables.
Huzzah! I'm getting all sorts of fired up. Don't you trip and fall on some guard's sword before we even get to start our fun, you hear me?
Same to you. Well then, let's get going. May fate be on our side.
Damn right! Hey, what do you think you're doing?
You know, you probably want other characters to voice guards.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
There we go.
Hey.
You're not supposed to be here! Get back to... Stay back! Don't make me kill you! Wait, stop!
Other random watch member.
You're up. Come on and draw your bloody cards already.
Don't rush me, I'm thinking.
On with it. It's almost lunch.
If I hold this, and I throw these away, then I could.
Christ. You hear that? Sounds like something's happening downstairs.
Quit trying to distract me. I ain't letting you run off with the pot like last time.
No, I'm serious. Something's going on down there.
It's probably just a slave can be. How you not used to that by now?
I don't know. Something feels off to me. I'm gonna go check it out. And don't even think about messing around with the cards while I'm gone.
I won't. Hurry back. I ain't no bonus for giving a rat's ass, so it beats me what he's so eager about. God, I wish I would have gotten hired at a place that paid just a little better. Am I seeing things? I swear, I just saw something move. You on the wall! Get down from there! What do you think you're doing? You're not supposed to. Put the knife away before I.
After playing cards, you have the nerve to call yourself a god. For the resistance to be light, but not this bad. I should take care of this and get out of here before the other one returns. It's amazing how much better a knife feels in my hands than a sword. So much easier to handle. Though it's not much help if they manage to draw on me first. Maybe I'll ask Gratian to teach me how to use a sword if we both make it through the day. I hate the idea of giving him any more reason to claim superiority over me, but I can't think of anyone better than him. Keeping an eye on my surroundings, I climbed up onto the watchtower. I could hear shouting in the distance. It seemed Gratian was doing his job. I pulled a brightly colored cloth from my pocket and affixed it to the highest point on the tower. As it began flapping in the wind, I turned my attention toward a hill in the distance. A group of tiny dots emerged from behind a rock formation heading this way. I let out a sigh of relief. Next up, time to make some noise.
Backup! We need backup! The slaves are revolting!
Revolting? Are you serious? What do you think you're carrying that damn sword for? You shouldn't need backup, just put them down.
Yes, but there's too many of them. And they're not messing around either. They're stampeding through us. They don't care how many of them die. And one of them is practically a giant.
Now quit pissing yourself over a bunch of damn slaves. Who cares how big one of them is? They're not armed, just... Be?
Behind you!
Huh?
Sorry to disappoint you, but we are armed. Maybe you should consider posting another couple guards in front of your armory.
Ah! There it is! There it is!
Come on, little man. Let's see what you got.
Ah!
You're no fun! Anywho. Get these gates open. Get these gates open, boys.
Literally
everybody.
Yeah!
Kick his ass!
Oh, I take it those are Jacopo's people. He actually did his job instead of booking it the hell out of here. Good on him. Of course, that's exactly what I was gonna do if I didn't see his people when we opened the gates. Guess he actually is good for his word. Which means I'm sticking through to the very end. Hey, take out as many of the bastards as you can on your way in, and be thorough. We want a clean escape, and we don't want to give him a chance to surround us. Keep at it! Don't let him get organized! If we fuck this up the ass pipe, it's the gallows for all of us. If you need a weapon, grab a rock and a vase, a fucking decapitated head, anything you can find.
Gratian, how are things progressing?
Smooth as a baby's behind. The reinforcements are here, making right good work of the guards and getting as many slaves out as they can.
I'm glad to hear it. Let's head down to the Great Hall.
Aye, let's. I'd like nothing more than to rip the Lord's head right off his shoulders.
The point is not to kill the Lord. It's just to deal enough of a blow that he stops throwing so many damn banquets. For now, anyway.
And what if I trip and my sword just happens to run him through?
I'd rather you didn't, if at all possible. But whatever happens, happens.
Alright, let's do this.
Yeah! Is it just me, or is it naturally noisy in there? Did some of the others beat us to it, maybe?
As far as I know, we're the first ones here.
Well, I guess we'll find out. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3! Chaos reigned over the manor, but the chaos in the hall where the Lord held his banquet was of a slightly different flavor. A buzz filled the room. Noble men and women murmured, shuffling backward, putting distance between each other, tossing goblets to the ground. As Gratian suspected, we were the first ones there. So why was everyone so tense? Whatever the cause of the disturbance, it seemed it was at least partially to thank for things proceeding so smoothly. The question is, what is happening in here? Out of the corner of my eye, I caught sight of the Lord. He stumped over toward the far end of the hall. Sitting atop the makeshift altar was the same young girl I had seen a week prior. For a brief moment, relief came over me, knowing she was still alive. That relief quickly morphed into dread.
You.
He unlocked the shackles binding the girl. Too weak to hold herself up, she fell forward into a slump, her long burgundy hair fanning out around her limp body. And then...
You are damned witch for wearing a sight's skin!
The Lord raised his sword high above his head. Gratian, I'll be borrowing that!
What? Hey, you little son of a...
held Gratian's longsword for the Lord, knocking his blade from his hands. The two swords rattled to the ground. I tossed my gaze to the girl for a split second. She was very clearly out of it, but she seemed to be breathing. Finally realizing a pair of slaves had just burst in on them, the nobles' panic swelled and one of them started shouting for the guards.
Well, fuck me sideways. There goes any chance we had a surprise attack. Damn it all! And we had the perfect distraction, too. Ah, to hell with it. Get in here, boys!
Yeah! Let's go!
Let's kick his ass!
Wait a sec. Need my sword first. Wait a sec. Need to get my sword first.
The next second, the room was enveloped in a cacophony of shouting and screaming and clanging. Most of the nobles carried swords, but very few actually seemed to have any idea of how to use them, the majority scrambling for the back exit.
You insolent worm! Who do you think I am? To threaten your lord is a slight god!
Ever the cocky bastard, I see. Tell me, do you have any idea what's happening right now?
Silence, cur! You will regret ever defying me!
Nothing more original, you third-rate fairy tale villain. As when it said the Lord's death was not part of the plan. Yet there I was, going straight for him. Gratian was absolutely right. The Lord had been distracted with the girl when we arrived, but I had thrown that advantage away. I'd seen God know how many slaves killed in hardly 2 weeks' time. Adding another body to the pile shouldn't have fazed me one bit. Logically, there was no reason for me to care. But I couldn't just leave her. And of course, now that I'd picked a fight with the Lord, I had no choice but to follow through with it to the very end. I dashed for the Lord, scooping up one of the dropped swords and swinging it down on him. But my blade cut through nothing but air. I had assumed he would be a pushover, another noble with money and power and help us to defend himself. So there was no hiding the look of shock on my face. Damn, he can move! Bonnie slid out of range, swiping the remaining sword off the ground and whipping it through the air with practiced grace.
Perhaps you should save this night yapping for when you have the skill to to back it up, insignificant cur.
Ha! We'll see if you still feel the same way when I'm through with you! I closed the gap. We clashed. He swung, I parried. Steel and steel ripped through hot air, craving ephemeral silver arcs in empty space. Our blades locked.
What are you hoping to accomplish with this revolt? What's your endgame?
My endgame? To get out of this hellhole and be free from slavery once and for all!
I have my doubts about whether you were ever a slave at all. But no matter, why attack me? Why do you care about the girl? What do you have to gain from saving her?
He's right. I have nothing to gain from rescuing the girl. All I've accomplished is making the whole process needlessly messy. That said, do I need to have something to gain? Are you saying I should just sit back and watch as you murder an innocent little girl? I was angry and thought I'd do something about it. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that really so hard to understand?
Nothing more than a childish hero complex. Just the answer I would expect from a foolish little boy with his head in the clouds.
Excuse me?
You're a puny worm, powerless to truly save anyone. You merely want to help the girl so you can pat yourself on the back and pretend you did a good deed. You simply want an excuse to be proud of your worthless self. Look at her. The girl's hardly breathing. She'll be dead soon enough, with or without my help.
And who do you think's to blame for that? You don't have any right to judge the value of her life.
My role in this is irrelevant. Was saving a dead girl part of the plan? It wasn't, was it? You diverge from the script to rescue a girl whose life is of no worth to you whatsoever. Also, you can momentarily feel good about yourself. That misstep will be the downfall of you, worm.
Enough!
I'll put you back in the ground where you belong.
Not a chance! God damn, for a flamboyantly dressed asshole, he sure can fight! There's not nearly as much force behind his swing as Gratian's, but he's quick. I can barely keep up, let alone react.
I hope you enjoy eternity in hell. You'll have plenty of time to reflect on your little lapse in judgment.
Damn it! I can't let this bastard kill me when we're so close to succeeding. I need to keep my cool. Yes, he's got me beat in agility. But Gratian's a much more skilled swordsman than him. I can handle this.
Sheer determination. You don't need mask the lack of skill for so long, boy. Look at yourself. You're out of breath. That sword you're flailing around is getting heavier and heavier.
Shut your mouth, damn it! I've hardly even broken a sweat! I swear to God, I will have your head!
Ha!
Oh shit. This is Joshy.
You said to ping him when he's up.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder he's available.
Mm.
Oh.
Thank you. You're voicing this old man.
Okay.
Lord Bonnier. Bonnier, right?
Barnier.
Bonnier, okay. Lord Bonnier. Lord Bonnier. Your escape has been secured, my lord.
It seems our fun is over. Be grateful you're still breathing, Kerr.
Hey, wait. We're not done yet! Get back here! God damn you! I made to go after him, but in an instant a wall of guards had formed between us. Traces of fear were visible in most of their eyes. Even exhausted as I was, I could have probably made it through. Before I could so much as consider attempting to give chase, I caught a glimpse of the girl limp and covered in gashes, causing me to come back to my senses. What's gotten into me? There's no point in going after him. His life has been freed, and his valuables plundered. The plan was a huge success. What I should be concerned with now is getting myself out of here. I need to stay focused. Took a moment to survey the hall, reevaluate the situation. Things had progressed somewhat since I had got it in my head to go after the Lord. Many of the slaves were gone, and the guards were beginning to mobilize. They were better equipped, trained and more fit than us. And we were, for the most part, fueled entirely by determination and righteous anger, which would only go so far in direct combat. Gratian was probably the only one on our side with any sort of real training. One man was not enough to win the fight, especially now that our main advantage, surprise, was exhausted.
Hey, Jacopo! If you don't finish with your business, I'd really like to get the hell out of here. I may be a badass, but I ain't a god.
Right, yeah. Sorry for the hold-up. Before regrouping with Gratian, I met and knelt before the girl. Hello? Can you stand? Hello? Can you hear me? I gently shook the girl by the shoulder, and the only response I got was a limp wag of her head. It was clear she was in no condition to walk. I guess I'll have to carry her, I thought, and made to pick her up. Huh? When I saw her face and gasped. Dear God. It was horrific. Unsettling marks covered the young girl's face. Primal repulsion was my first reaction, and shortly thereafter came overwhelming pity. I obviously had no way of knowing what kind of life the girl had led. But something told me it was far worse than any of the countless children who grew up in the slums, struggling day after day.
Hey, get moving! I ain't waiting around!
I'm coming! I grabbed the girl's arms, wrapping them around my neck from behind, and clung to my feet. I could feel her breath faint through though it was in my ear. You hang in there. and then I broke into a dash, leaving the fading panic of the Great Hall behind.
So bright. Light. Am I in
God damn, she is surprisingly heavy for how little meat she has on her.
What, you think she'd get lighter the harder you ran or something? Just ditch the stupid kid. She ain't long for this world anyway.
Hell no! I'm not gonna let all that effort facing off against the Lord go to waste.
You're one stubborn son of a bitch, you know that?
This is not heaven. Who are these? Where am I going? I don't have the strength to think right.
Hey! Did you go dying on me back there? Please, I'm begging you!
I'm so sleepy. Sleep. That sounds wonderful. How nice would it be to fall asleep? Such warm bed.
We're probably safe here, for the time being. So, what's next?
First, I need to take her somewhere she can get some rest.
You've got nothing in the head of you except that half-dead girl, do you, kid? What, you fall for her or something? Is that what gets your rocks off? Can you only get it up for the ugliest thing in the city? Not to mention, she can't be older than 10. I like to think of myself as open-minded, but that squicks me, man.
No, God no, absolutely not. I'm merely concerned for her well-being.
Right, of course you are. Well, everyone's got their kinks.
I swear to God!
What I'm wanting to know is, what do you plan to do about all those slaves you just freed? They can't stay here.
Not even a chance to defend myself. Right. My people are taking care of that. They made arrangements with several slave traders to have agreed to transport them to other cities. After that, who knows?
So you set them free and then just abandon them?
Obviously. I'm not some rich kid playing hero. I gave who knows how many people the opportunity to change their lives. I think I did damn good work if you ask me.
Fair enough. Can't expect you to give them the world. Setting the slaves free wasn't even the main objective.
You're more perceptive than you look.
Damn straight. Anywho, I'm planning to stick around for a bit. You still owe me that night with a pretty lady.
In that case, you should head down to the pub. You'll probably find some of my people in there. The ones who weren't injured, at least.
Aye, aye.
As much as I'd like to take her to a real doctor, I'd probably do best not to show my face in the city proper so soon after making a mess of the Lord's manor. If one of his guards were to spot me, it'd probably not end well. Which means she is my only hope.
Good afternoon. We're not open until evening.
It's me, Maria. Let me in.
Jacopo! You're alive? You have any idea how worried I was? I mean, fucking hell, I haven't slept in 2 weeks!
I bet on my life that I just woke you.
Oh, shove it, it's a sentiment that counts. Anyway, I'm glad you're... Wait. What the hell is that on your back? Corpse?
She will be one soon if we don't do something. But for the time being, she's still alive.
Whoa. Stop right there. I have about 1,000 things I want to say right now, but let's start with this. What exactly are you planning to do with her here? I'm sure she got mauled by a fucking lion.
I need to stay low for a while, and I can't risk showing my face in the city, so I was wondering if you wouldn't mind letting her stay here for a while.
Excuse me? Let her stay here?
And if you could look after her while she's here, I would appreciate it.
No, stop. Time out. I'm not doing anything without an explanation. First of all, who is she? And what the hell happened to her?
The Lord was torturing her. I rescued her during the revolt.
Okay, keep it going.
That's all there is to it?
That's a pretty pathetic explanation.
I'm telling you, that's all there is to it. What more do you want from me?
So you're telling me you infiltrated the Lord's Manor to swipe a half-dead little girl you never even met before? You couldn't have gone for, I don't know, something worth actual money? She's just skin and bones, and God knows if those wounds will ever heal. If she's pretty enough, you might be able to put her to work, I guess. Let me get a quick look at... I have no words. I can't.
Please, Maria. The longer we stand here, the closer she gets to death.
And once she recovers, if she even does, what then? How does she pay for her food? Because sure as shit can't work here. I'm not sure there's much work she even can do. For a business, not a charity. If I'm going to be putting my time and money into looking after her, I need something in return. She doesn't look like she'll be able to offer much of anything.
I can offer some financial assistance. We plundered a decent amount of valuables from the Lord's treasury. Even if we divide everything up, my share should be enough to support her for some time.
I don't get it. Why do you care so much?
What? Do you expect me to just leave her to die? I'm able to live with myself knowing that I could have done something to prevent it. I swear to God, does anyone have a damned heart? Because everyone sure seems hellbent on letting her die.
Relax, chill. You live here long enough, Jacopo. You should know as well as anyone that morals and good intentions aren't enough to help anyone.
I don't care. I want to help her. She can't be any older than 10. And her face could very well still heal. I couldn't stand to see her life end like this. Abused and tortured by a madman. It's downright cruel. She deserves better. She deserves to know the world's not all hell and misery.
Fine. You win. I surrender. I know better than anyone there's no changing your mind once you're set on something. God, you can be so hot-headed sometimes.
So will you help?
Well, it's not like anyone else is going to. Now, whether she makes it or not is a question of how much that scrawny body of hers is determined to hold on. So what are you waiting for? Bring her on in.
Thank you, Maria. I really do appreciate it.
Cut it out with the mushy crap. You're gonna make me spew. Please just stick to your usual snippy beach act. I'm gonna get the bath going. Give me a hand. She should be able to get some rest here. Hardly anyone comes back here, even during business hours. I have to say though, even cleaned up, she's a damn mess. People say the Lord of Twisted bastard, but this is way worse than I imagined. Who would do this to such a young girl?
Did you laugh at a sprite?
Oh, it's... No. I'm laughing at the modern day bath equipment.
Oh yeah,
in the
no,
background.
like you're gonna see that a lot in this fucking shit. Straight up, you can count the amount of modern day implements you can see in the background of some of these fucking things. It's so funny.
Anachronisms are fun.
You can see
What,
you can see a sidewalk in one of them. I swear to God.
Would another modern item count as her tits already coming to pop out of that dress? Cause damn!
I'm pretty sure that's historical too.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
I think
boobs
they-
have existed as long as women have.
I think they had boobs back in the day.
I don't think they were invented
I mean,
yet.
Jacopo had more boobs back in the day. God damn!
Yeah.
I really want to see him do the Giorno JoJo pose.
What about Gratian?
Gratian? I don't know. You can put him in whatever pose you want. It's just that his shirt like opening reminds me of the Giorno outfit a little.
Okay, back to it.
Oh, and for the record, I checked and she is still a chaste, if you would. Good to know the Lord's not that fucked up, I guess. Thank goodness for small blessings. Not that preserving her virginity is a whole lot of comfort compared to what it did do.
Marie, show a little common decency, would you?
Oh, thank God he's only a cannibal.
I don't know how to be decent like telling a cat to bark.
Well, start barking, goddammit!
Oh my.
Why did you even think I need to know whether she's chaste or not?
I checked, so I figured I'd mention it.
Keep it to yourself!
You know, for someone who spends so much time in a whorehouse, you sure are easily embarrassed.
Huh? What was that?
Oh, nothing.
And besides, the only reason I'm here so much is to help out with the business side of things, not to make use of the facilities.
So you did hear me.
God, no, louder. There we go. Hey, Maria.
Oh, is she coming too? Hey there, how are you feeling? Can you see me? I got some more water if you're up to drink anything. Still too weak to move on your own, it looks like. It's alright, hang on. I'll go grab it and help you out.
Oh, Lord.
Well, she just said something.
Of mercy, cut off mine enemies.
Huh? Enemies?
All that afflict my soul.
Hello? Are you okay in there?
For I am thy servant. Oh,
It's okay, he's not here. We escaped. He can't hurt you anymore.
of thy mercy,
It's okay.
destroy them.
Hey, Jacopo, not to be indecent, but I think she might be, beyond repair. And not just physically.
No need to jump to conclusions. She could simply be disoriented. You're safe. There are no enemies here. No need to be afraid. You'll be feeling better in no time. You just need some rest. The human body is incredibly adept at repairing itself. I'll have some ointment for you soon.
What? Ointment? How are you expecting to pay for?
Don't interrupt me, Maria.
Christ.
Just hang on there a little longer. You'll be all better before you know it. If there's anything you need or want, don't hesitate to ask. I'll get you anything within reason. I guess it'll still be a bit before you can talk much, huh? Mary, I need to drop by the pub for a bit. I'll get some ointment on my way.
Butterfly.
Hmm?
Butterfly. Brooch. Gone.
Wait, Bridge, what's she talking about? Is she seeing things or something?
Perhaps, or maybe the Lord took it from her.
My treasure.
Alright, I'll see if I can find it while I'm out. Something the Lord took from you, there's a chance it might be in the stuff we looted from his manor. I'll be back later today. You get some rest, okay? Look after her while I'm gone, would you, Maria?
I already agreed, so it's not like I can say no. Just remember, I've got work to do, so I can't be with her every waking moment.
A room, a warm blanket, and you checking in on her every once in a while is more than enough. Thank you. Anyway, I'll be back.
Ciao. Hey, Jacopo.
Yeah?
Don't get in over your head, okay?
I won't. Look at this oblivion ass bar.
Have you heard of the High Elves? I heard about the attack.
Yeah.
Who's Paul?
Hey, Paul!
Who wants to be Paul?
Hey, Paul!
And then I charged in.
Hey, Potter.
And trust the blade. Held high, cutting up barnyards last to stripe rail. A power base that straight up and paced himself, begging and crying for his life.
Nicola.
You were never even in the same room as him, you lying scoundrel.
It ain't the details, but the spirit that matters. And I have enough spirit in me to bring that Lord himself to his knees. I really, if this is a major character, I'm gonna change the voice.
I doubt they are.
T.O.
Forget this worthless tweet. I took out 10 no Trinity guards all by myself. The scar on my back is a trophy, proof of my valiant exploits in bat. I think all the yelling opened the wound again.
Everything the scars on your back proves that you turned tail and ran, you little chicken shit.
You tell him.
Well, it certainly looks like they're enjoying themselves. Perhaps a little too much, going by how many seem to have drunk themselves comatose. Not that I understand wanting to celebrate.
Oh, the nice graces with your presence. Where the hell you been? We've been waiting.
Word is he made a mad dash for the whorehouse soon as he got back.
Huh. I see how it is. You'd rather celebrate with her than us. Must be nice, putting prostitutes before your comrades before at arms.
I'm not putting anyone before anyone. An old friend of mine works there, nothing more.
No need to be boastful. You can make up for it by getting your butt over here and drinking with us. You were the star of the show, after all.
The what?
You were the one who infiltrated the Lord's manor. Today wouldn't have been possible without you. You did good work and everyone here knows it.
For the record, I was going to do it myself, but I decided to let you have the honor. I could have rallied the slaves together and have the time it took you.
That ain't the sky on your back, you chicken shit.
You tell him.
I see risking our lives hasn't made you three any less unruly. But I'm glad you all made it alive. Truly. Not know, do we have any idea what the casualty number looks like?
Bunch of wounded, but nobody dead. Good fortune was on their side.
Raw unmatched skill, you mean? We're the trifecta of terror.
The trifecta of twats, more like. The only reason you and your band made it out unscathed is because we slaves were on the front lines. You have any idea how many we lost?
Gratian.
Hello again. You're looking surprisingly sober. Not drinking, huh?
Just finished my first cask, actually. Let me tell you, these guys are damn lightweights. Hardly even put up a fight.
So the pile of bodies in the corner is Gratian's doing, then? What on earth is his stomach made of?
So, boys, if you really think you're such hot shit, then how about you show me what you're made of? Let's drink. If you live up to your trifecta of tarts or whatever the hell it was.
But we actually take our time drinking, you know? Enjoy ourselves over yonder.
Yeah, a third wound on my back hurts if I drink too much. Besides...
You tell him.
Wait, is this all of them?
Just a random young man.
Godspeed, Yakuba.
Wait, get back here! God damn it!
Bunch of pussies. You won't run on me now, will you, kid?
I still have things to take care of. I have to find somewhere to get some ointment and looking for a missing butterfly brooch as well.
A brooch? You mean this thing?
Yes, that must be it. The girl said it belonged to her. Can I have it so I can give it back?
I don't know. I am the one who found it.
There's plenty more in the loot pile. Why do you care about a worthless scrap of metal?
I think it looks pretty cute on me, to be honest.
What a load of bull. Fine, I'll bite. What do you want for it?
I'm glad you asked. Beat me in a drinking contest and it's all yours.
Excuse me? Beat you? You went through an entire cask!
What? We haven't even started. You're already admitting defeat? For the star of the show, you sure are a wuss. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. The revolt never would have happened without me. Soon, everyone will know who the real star of today's show was. Yours truly.
Fine. If you're so desperate for a playmate, I'm down for your little game. But let me tell you, I hold my liquor quite well, thank you very much. I'll wipe that smug grin off your face and shove it in a barrel full of your own vomit!
That's the fucking spirit! That prissy face of yours will be licking the chamber pot when I'm done with you.
Young man.
Is it need to be?
Hey fellas, Gratian and Jacobo having a drinking contest?
Other young man.
Gratian? Oh.
Yeah.
Gratian? Who the hell's that? Do we have a Gratian?
Right over there, the big fella. He helped with the revolt. Used to be a gladiator.
A gladiator, those still exist?
I see Tia's back.
I'm putting all my money on Gratian.
A bloody traitor. Jacopo has been with us since the very beginning. I'm betting on him.
Looks like we've drawn quite the crowd. You got yourself an impressive little fan club, kid.
When you've been in the slums as long as I have, you get to know pretty much everyone.
And the more to humiliate you in front of. Right then, the rules are simple. Whoever stays conscious longest wins. Though I doubt it'll be much of a contest.
Yeah, you just keep pretending you have a chance. The truth will hit you soon enough.
On the count of 3. 3! What's the matter, kid? You're looking a little sluggish. And this is only glass 4. Oh.
Look at you! Your eyes are going bloodshot! Here, I'll talk after all.
You keep telling yourself that. Hey, Who's wench? Keep him coming. I could do this for hours. More, more, more. Fill her up.
I was quicker than you that time.
You're better than you look. But don't forget, I got a full cask on ya. You're running with a handicap.
I'm not the one who challenged you. You're just making excuses for when I beat your ass. How many does this take? 10? How much does this make? 10? 20? I've lost count.
Throwing in the towel, are ya? See, what did I tell you? Step aside, kid. This is a man's world.
Are you even hearing yourself?
Shut your stupid, prissy face, kid. I never liked you, not for 1 second.
What? Resorting to childish insults now, are we?
I was planning to start a revolt long before you ever showed up. And you came marching and took all the glory for yourself. Fuck it, who do you even think you are?
Where are you now? Well, I'll have you know, I never liked you either. You think that just because you can swing a sword around like a big ape that makes you better than everyone?
What the frick did you just frickin' say about me, a little punk? You wanna go, eh? You wanna go?
If you wanna go, take another drink. Isn't that what we're doing this all for, huh?
Oh, fuck, that's right. Fill us up again, wench.
The world is spinning. That all you got? Your face is as red as a baboon's ass.
And your pale's a fucking corpse. One more round. I'll crush ya!
You can try.
Excuse me,
What? What's your problem?
Booze! Where's the booze?
Please don't be angry with me, but, well, we're all out of everything.
You're what?
And go get more! This ain't the only pub in town.
I have. Everyone's out everywhere.
So...
It's a draw?
How anticlimactic.
Seriously, what a load of bull.
He just fell over.
He's just honk shoeing. God, he may be the rowdiest man I've ever met.
Is he gonna be okay? That looked like that really hurt.
Leave him be. He'll wake up when he needs to piss, probably. And on that note, I'll be in the latrine. Other random prostitute.
Maria, it's almost time to open up.
Gotcha. I'll be out in a sec. You get some rest, hear me? And gotta run for a bit, but you shouldn't have to worry about anyone coming back here. There's an urn filled with water in the mess hall if you get thirsty. You can't hear what I'm saying, can you? Well, night.
I injured to think long and hard. about your actions. Uh, uh, uh,
Welcome, daughter of God. You'll be performing miracles for me now.
A man stood before me. There were several young girls in the room. They looked like prostitutes. Some of them might have been boys. The man's clothes were beautiful. His jewelry glimmered in the light. His eyes glimmered too, but with madness, not beauty. He was the lord of the land. I had been taken from my home, and now I was kneeling before the Lord.
And if you cooperate, I can guarantee you'll live more than comfortably.
I looked up at the Lord sternly. He was a scary man, but I couldn't let fear stand in my way. I was the daughter of God, his beloved servant on this earth. I had to act according to his will. Miracles are not something to be performed for one single person's benefit.
What?
Miracles are not magic, parlor tricks. They are a precious gift, granted to me by my Father in heaven. Using his power for personal gratification is a grave sin. I will do no such thing. I entreat you to think long and hard about your actions. Do away with such selfish desires and dedicate yourself to helping the people. The power you have been given was bestowed upon you by the hand of God. It is not your power. He is merely allowing you to make use of it for a short time. Pride is a sin. Please consider how you conduct yourself.
You're an ignorant, insolent child, aren't you? I bought you. You were my property. You have no right to an opinion.
That is not my opinion. That is the way of the world. As God...
Silence! You're not here to talk. You're here to perform miracles for me and my guest!
The Lord glared angrily down at me. I gulped, biting my lip to keep it from trembling. I steeled myself, fought down every urge to look away. As I have already told you, I will do no such thing. But the Lord would not hear it. With a sickening laugh, he took a step towards me.
What you will or will not do is my decision, not yours.
No, get your hands off! He grabbed me by the hair and threw me to the floor.
It's easy to see in someone. You need someone to show you your place, child. You are my property. You are to do as I say. You are not to talk back or criticize. And you are to give everything to me. Your life, your body, your soul, your love. Every last thing.
My and my soul are for my father only, for God. I am no man's property. Ah!
You call yourself whatever you want. You still feel pain like everyone else. You still scream. What's a little scratch on the arm, anyway? How many times have you cut yourself before performing miracles, saint? Surely you're accustomed to the pain by now. Now for the first taste of your so-called miracle blood. I must imagine it must be truly exquisite if everything they say about you is to be believed. That your birth brought an end to a terrible drought.
No.
Yes, give unto me your blessing, saint.
Please, I beg of you, don't do this. I'm begging you, please. My blood was meant for the sick, poor, the suffering. My miracles were meant for those who needed them. Is this another of your trials for me, Father? People. There are so many people. They're looking at me and laughing.
Well, well. Good morning, daughter of God. I hope you slept well.
What's going on? What are all these people doing here?
As I told you, you're here to perform miracles for me and my guest.
No. I tried to twist away, but a jolt of pain ran up my arms. Looking down, I saw heavy shackles around my wrists. I was sitting atop a white sheet on what looked like an altar. And I was naked. No! Why am I...
Now, surely you, the daughter of God herself, are not ashamed of the body your father gave you now, are you? You're not some lowly peasant girl. You're above shame, aren't you?
What do you think you're doing? This is an act of blasphemy. The Lord pressed his hand against my mouth, bringing his face in just inches away from mine.
I would encourage you not to insult my guest, Saint. Your job is to provide them with your blood, not give sermons.
Placed a knife against my neck. Intense pain jolted through my body.
No tears. That's a good girl. It simply wouldn't be the same if you cried and blubbered like some lowly slave or a whore. Dignified and saintly. That's what I need you to be.
The Lord brought a goblet up to my neck, filling it with the blood flowing from the gash. He raised it high into the air.
Cheers! A saint's blood and good fortune to all!
And then started passing it around to his guests. Staring hazily out into the crowd, I prayed. Prayed that someone might sneak up. Might proclaim this to be the terrible affront against the Lord that it was. Might declare that I should be set free. That someone, anyone, would speak against the Lord.
What a wonderfully curious item you found yourself with, Lord Barnier.
Indeed, you never fail to surprise, my lord.
But his wealthy companions had no objections. In fact, they were quite pleased, smiling and laughing with teeth bared. Most of them looked like they had never gone a day in their lives without a proper meal. And all of them were wearing masks to hide their faces. An unholy Sabbath. A filthy, perverse blood Sabbath. My consciousness began slipping away. Not from pain, but despair. I couldn't bear the sight of them. These men and women who didn't fear God, reveling in depravity. They were monsters, dressed in fancy clothing. Or perhaps they were demons, taking the form of humans. And these were the gates of hell. The Lord held such banquets on a regular basis. And every time he did, he drained me of my blood. Before long, my body was covered in scars and gashes. I could hardly even bear to look at my own arms and legs. In some places, I was purple and swollen. In others, my skin seemed to curl back to reveal the raw pink flesh beneath. Everywhere, it was wet and slick with blood. The wounds were far more hideous than anything I had given myself to help the people of my village. It was gut-wrenching, repulsive. The Lord sometimes had trouble deciding where to cut. But not out of any sense of sympathy for me. He simply thought that drawing blood from an untouched area of my body would be effective.
Perhaps I'll use your stomach today, Saint. I should be able to get some nice, pure blood from there.
At that point in time, I hadn't been completely stripped of my willpower quite yet. Because my physical restraints prevented me from fighting back, I put all my energy into reassuring my spirit did not yield to him. Stop this. Can you not comprehend that what you're doing is an affront to the Lord?
I'm free to do what I wish with my property. Saint or not, you are no different than any of my slaves.
The Lord is greatly displeased with your actions.
Then use your miracle powers to deliver divine punishment on me. Go on. You can do that, can't you?
Your soul will be punished. You may not see the effects now, but you will pay for your sins one day.
You're not as stunning as you think you are, buck-naked girl. Don't give me that look, girl. I have no interest in taking that from you. You'd be lucky to find anyone willing to lay with a girl covered in disgusting scars. Oh, I almost forgot. You need to eat too, don't you, daughter of God? I'm told consuming meat increases the amount of blood in your body produces. I've acquired some special exotic meat just for you.
Don't want your meat.
Now, don't be difficult. I can't have you running out of blood on me, so you will eat this meat, even have to force it down that tiny throat of yours. Slave boy, get in here! Bring the saint her supper. Hurry up, you worthless worm!
My apologies for keeping you waiting, my lord.
You dare drop the food before your lord, girl! You've ruined my robes. You've ruined my robes! Are you incapable of even carrying a damn plate across the room?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Stop it, please. Does he really deserve to be hit for that?
A slave's sole purpose in life is to serve their master. A slave that cannot follow simple orders deserves whatever punishment I desire they deserve, Saint.
Please, please have mercy. Don't kill me too. I beg of you.
Alright. Then this is how we handle it. If you eat the meat, Saint, I'll turn a blind eye to the boy's mistake.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll eat the meat. However much you want, I'll eat it. So please, do not raise your hand against the boy any further.
Very well.
With a satisfied smirk, the Lord returned the fallen meat to the plate and set it before me. Ugh. I almost gagged at the stench. It didn't appear to be spoiled, but nonetheless, it was indescribably unpleasant. In no small part, I imagine, because it was raw.
What's the matter? You said you wanted to eat! Or is that simply a lie to stay in my hand, daughter of God?
I'll eat it. My hands were still shackled, so I had no choice but to bend forward and take my piece into my mouth like a wild animal. I tried to clear my mind, to not think about what I was doing. How I must have looked. A holy saint of the Lord, unclothed and in chains, gnawing at raw meat like a stray dog. Miserable. Disgraceful. It smells so bad. I've never tasted anything like this before.
Why?
What?
Why? What did he do?
He? The slave boy, still on the floor from the Lord's beating, was looking over at me with vacant eye. Or rather, at the meat. No. No. You wouldn't. This isn't... Is it?
He didn't deserve this!
No. I would never. I couldn't. No.
Well, is the meat not to your liking then, Saint? Hear that, slave? The Saint says your brother tastes so bad it makes her a wretch.
No, I didn't know.
But you didn't keep your word now, did you? Listen up, boy! It's the dungeon for you.
No, please, no! Please, no!
God, someone shut this worm up and toss him in a dungeon!
Please, no!
He's mad. Everyone's going to be mad. How can a man like him? A man so twisted and cruel exists on God's earth. Someone. Please. Get me out of here. Take me away from this place. Anyone. O Father who art in heaven, I pray for you to lead me unto deliverance. Father, your trials, they are much too great.
All right, good place to wrap up.
Fata Morgana has a comedy, everyone.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Fata Morgana is a comedy
Oh, hey,
and a tragedy.
we keep our old
I
saves.
don't know what's greater, the emotional
Oh, yeah, for
damage
sure.
or the actual physical damage on my throat.
You had damage. I get way too into shit. Oh god, I'm really feeling like I'm
I
gonna
mean,
throw
like,
up.
my throat was in fucking agony, and it got to the point where I kept pushing it, and then, like, the pain kind of, like, stopped, because, like, it went full circle, and reset the square one,
were you
so I was
drinking
able to
water?
keep going.
Should probably
You know,
do
Orange,
a
I think I
different
know
Go
voice.
drink some water.
You know,
I was
Orange,
going to get water, but, you know, I didn't know when he was gonna pop back up.
This is why you need to have like at least 2 bottles
Yeah,
at
just
hand.
when I
Oh,
had the
yeah.
maid, I just had bottles of water like sitting next to me. I was
Hey,
like, I'm gonna
Orange.
need these
That would have been
eventually.
nice to know.
I think
Yeah,
I know.
make sure that shit's capped.
Hey, Orange, I think I know exactly why you picked me to voice Gratian.
Why is that?
Because you're a himbo?
Yeah,
No, not
whoa
really.
now,
Well, that's a
whoa
wink.
now,
That's a
that's real generous
Did
of
you-
you. Slow it
Did you, I was
down.
like,
Yeah,
did you post? Did you just post goatsy? Because goddamn it, that's
Little does the chat know, Robert is the most handsome man here.
No, I'm not.
He is a dreamboat, everybody.
No, I'm not.
Hey man.
You don't know what I look like.
We don't know.
But you know, because my D&D character kind of reminds me of
Here's-
him.
Here's a face reveal from me right away.
Oh,
in live
jeez.
music.
AC, we don't need to
You
see
look
your
like a
non-connecting
mountainous
beard
hole wall.
anyways. How are we doing our discussions or talking?
How was I
We can
by?
do
how was?
theories. I mean,
how
not
was I
theories.
by?
Yeah,
the
you
way?
did a damn
think
good
you're gonna
job,
have
man.
to with Lord Barnier.
Whoa.
One at a time.
He killed what?
Okay. So, we will do our same talking points in the usual form. Just know that, like, remember this is a prequel story, so there isn't really like a whole hell of a
Any
lot
theorizing?
to theorize about.
We can call it reactions.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
kind of
reactions.
like general
Got it.
reactions.
Oh,
Should we start with AC?
Of course.
Contrary to the belief, I actually do have a theory.
We saw. We can go on about that. That's fair.
So, you remember in the main line when like Morgana's like, "Oh, bandits attack the brothel." Judging by how spiteful Barnier seemed, and the fact that he did not lose his life in the scene that we saw, I think that he is directly responsible for the attack on the brothel. And I would not be shocked if we do see him there in person.
I'm getting flashbacks to Pillars of the Earth.
So, my theory is that Barnier is going to come back, and Jacopo is going to wish he had finished the job. And that's my only theory. My general reaction, been pretty good so far. I liked voicing Barnier, contrary to how, it's like a soda. I enjoy it, but probably not good for me.
Everybody likes being a Joker.
And that's it really.
Nice.
All right.
Noir.
Award-winning hater Noir. Let's go.
Well, I mean, there's not many people to hate. I mean, it's pretty easy to say, man, that Barnier sure does suck ass. Like, understood, yeah. Like, everyone, who doesn't think of that? Like,
Maybe
there's
Kanye.
literally no redemption for him at this point. He's
Nope,
just
bring it up.
evil and crazy.
I don't have any particular theories in mind. I mean, most of this has just been, hey, don't you remember Jacopo's story where it intersected with Morgana's story? It sure did. But I can't think that there's much else I can say about where this is going or what new mysteries will be solved yet.
All right. Oh, Bone.
All right. Did we get the information of how Jacopo became the Lord? I forget.
Yes, there's an entire backstory about it because a mysterious maid from Barnier's entourage basically showed up and said, "Yeah, you're his son. I'm your mother. That's true, isn't it?" And Jacopo was like, "I'm not sure about all that. Can I take a minute?" And during that minute, Morgana was stolen and the brothel was destroyed and everything went horrible. And then he was like, "Well, fine. I guess I'll do it to protect the people I care about. Sure."
All right. Okay. So I'm very interested in how that whole thing comes up because I don't remember Jacopo ever having this rebellious, empathetic spirit. Even though I'm sure I'm not. I guess he did have that in the flashback.
They brushed upon it in that long paragraph series, and now we're touching on it in a little bit more detail.
Now, I would like to say, I'm not really sure if there's much really to say about this, so is there actually anybody else here that actually does specifically have theories? Or not theories, but reactions? We could probably just skip to them. Is there anybody here that doesn't have any thoughts?
My brain is empty. I have no thoughts.
The Lord is evil and sucks.
Con and Robo, do you guys have any particular thoughts that you plan on getting out?
I am honestly saying there is no set redemption or anything otherwise for Barnier. Dude fed his little brother to Morgana. There's no redemption coming from that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna try to redeem this guy. Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have a thought. I wonder if we'll get context to the brother that got turned into the painting, and the shit wife. I forget her
George's?
name. Yeah, George's.
I wonder if we're going to get more information about Amy.
Yeah, Amy, that was her name, shit wife. I'm curious.
honestly doubt it.
We still don't really know what time period this is, just that it is far from Michelle's, sort of.
Yeah, but do you think we'll get more context with Michelle's family?
It has to
In
be
this?
after the fall
In
of
this?
It's probably not here now.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. Not in this. This had nothing to do with them.
All right. I figured that could lead into that later. All right. In that case, I don't got anything.
There's gonna be an after credit scene where a new lord is installed, and they're like, "Did you hear we're getting a new lord? His name is Boligne."
Actually, that does
and
bring
then
up a
there's
thought.
and then it says Avengers.
Michelle will return.
A fucking Marvel after credit scene.
Morgana will return in.
That does actually bring up a thought. What point do you think this will end, or have we already been told this?
Wait, what?
I mean, I imagine it'll end before Door 8 at some point.
I'm curious
think-
at what exact time.
I
the setting.
think it's going to end when Jacopo becomes a lord, because from that point on, we basically know everything that's wrong.
Do we? Maybe
I think so. Maybe there is a bit more, but Jacopo sort of told us what happened.
Because I forget exactly at what point we learned a bunch of stuff. Because trying to focus is a problem for me. All right. Yeah, that might work. That might be it.
Okay. I've already said Barnier can die. Fuck Barnier. Also,
Fuck Barney, all my homies hate Barney.
You can pure wet
Yeah.
Pokemon?
Yes.
While all the homies love Grecian, because goddamn, the dude's great. What? Dude says some dynamite shit.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anybody's going to argue.
Speaking of which, how was I as him?
Oh, yeah, I did pretty good.
Fantastic.
I
did
like
great,
it.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
It
very
was a
much.
good choice.
The voice matches the body.
Yeah, I wouldn't have imagined it, but it actually works really well.
Oh,
Yeah, leave it to Robu to voice the himbo.
I'm not.
You're
a himbo.
welcome.
I don't know where you're getting this idea that he's a himbo from.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Robert
I
is
don't
very smart. He's too smart to be a himbo.
Yeah.
He's like a Bishi boy. He has the
What?
glasses.
No,
and
that's
everything.
worse.
He's like a thin, tall, muscular,
No, I'm not.
but still skinny man.
I'm not
Less
skinny.
about what Roboot is and isn't, more about Gratian.
Yes,
I'm
please.
just saying the Grecian, honest to God, reminds me of a Belmont.
Yeah, he definitely looks like Simon.
See? Thank you. Of course, that's just aesthetically saying.
I wish those
Personality-wise, he's actually just a really amicable guy.
My favorite character was Paul.
Well, I have a question for the audience and the chat members. How did you think of my masterclass performance as Dio? Also, I like how I just sorry about this, but I like how I tried to make him French and then he immediately runs away.
Whatever. I just need y'all to remember who you are.
More French, apparently.
I mean, they're all
I know
French,
who
and
I
also
am.
no, I
But I like the old roster that was bone. Carnation.
But that's all my thoughts on this.
Apologies
Rindy?
if my apologies
Oh,
if
wait,
my
no.
fucking what's his name? If my goddamn Jacopo's a little too posh, but that was the impression I got.
It's a bit like you got it right later. It was just the very start. It was too posh. Now it's like perfect.
Oh, thank you. I tried my best.
Do we do
Gotta
it all?
Gotta get posh with bitchy. Rindy, no, Roboot. Anything in particular?
Oh, nothing. I enjoy voicing Gratian.
Good job. Good job.
Thank
You get
you.
a head pat and a gold star. Rindy, professional and permanent poor until further notice. What's up?
I said brain empty,
What?
no thoughts.
Brain
Stuff
empty,
is
no
happening.
thoughts.
We basically knew all of this already. Just seeing it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Gratian, I like Gratian. I like Gratian.
Very good.
He can call me names.
Wow. Tim.
Yeah, I'm mostly just wondering what the end point of this is gonna be.
Mm-hmm. And Crimson?
Nothing here either.
It's all been very straightforward.
Yeah, I'm glad that we
pretty
can all agree
self-explanatory.
that we could all look at Barnier and go, Mr. Electric, send this man to eternal torment damnation within the realms unseen by God.
Is that
I
Am I missing something?
Is it?
Yes.
It's been a while.
Mr. Electric, send this motherfucker to the penis explosion zone!
And have his penis exploded!
That kid with an ass.
At any rate,
Are we done?
I can't
We
help
are
but feel
done.
like that's a good natural stopping point for the
Yes.
day.
All right, I'm gonna go drink some moonshine. Yeah.
I'm gonna go drink some water.
Be careful, everybody. Don't let your penis
I'm gonna
get
go drink some
exploded.
turpentine.
Good God.
I've already finished my cider, so I guess I'll drink water.
I thought you were going to say my penis already got exploded.
Oh no.
He was way ahead of you.
Alrighty
Not
then.
in the Discord call.
I'm going to
Oh
hit
my
the funny
God.
end stream button now.
And Nettie.
Good night, everybody.
Bye bye.
Arrivederci.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Of course, the Italian.